You looking to grow so you can help more people? If you are, you're in the right place. And if you're like many people in self-development, books are essential for your personal growth. So what are the 5 books that you would read again and again and again so you could attain emotional freedom and you can grow to others? My name's Nilesh, and after 10 years as a doctor, now I am working as a self-mastery coach and compassion trainer so I can help you guys master your emotions. And the reason that we do this is so you can activate your potential and your authenticity. I feel blessed to have worked and be featured by brands like Soho House and Mind Valley and Business Insider. And I work with a whole range of clients, 8-figure entrepreneurs, award-winning charity founders, film producers, CEOs, authors. And so I'm really excited to share with you my favorite 5 books for emotional well-being, using it as fuel for growth, and a practical strategy that you can start implementing now that I have taken from this book. And honestly, these books are incredible, guys. So I can't wait for you to get a little summary of this and start implementing. Number 1, The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. This transformative book explores ancient Toltec wisdom for living a life of freedom, happiness, and authenticity. The 4 guiding principles are: be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. By embodying these agreements, you can cultivate emotional resilience, inner peace, and spiritual fulfillment. On the table here, guys, is one of the most powerful books you will ever read. If you are having problems feeling offended by others, if you speak unconsciously, we all do that sometimes, okay? If you are someone who can be stuck with anxiety, self-doubt, fear, worry, loathing, self-criticism, if you're someone that sometimes struggles with procrastination or self-discipline, these are all things that my clients struggle with, and it is a book I very commonly buy for clients. To put this into context, please do look up the exact figures on Amazon, but last time I checked, there's an excess of 50,000 plus reviews on this book. And I'm into spirituality and energy, and when I feel the book, I really feel a lot of energy from it. It's written from an incredibly sacred space. Moreover, I loved this book because it's written by a doctor. Don Miguel Ruiz used to be a surgeon until he had a near-death experience and touched spirit or God or higher power, whatever you want to call it. And that led him to write this very, very powerful book. So in the book, the number 1 takeaway to take from it is as follows: be impeccable with your word. Now, this is the hardest principle, but also the most powerful. What he means is use your word in the name of truth and love. He talks about the word as a creative power that we have been given as humans. And when we speak things, we speak them into existence. So if we speak hatred, blame, shame, guilt, anger, worry, fear, then that's what's going to get spread and projected outside of us into our life. And I urge you to read the first chapter, Not Be in Tears. It's one of the most beautiful descriptions of oneness and spirituality. So how do you be impeccable with your word? Conscious speech. The Buddha spoke about this in a lot of his texts. Right speech, right intention as the 8-fold path. But how do we use this in day-to-day, because it's difficult? Well, quite simply, it's just about setting intentions, especially when you're going to speak with close family members, friends, especially when maybe someone has hurt or offended you. This doesn't mean that you have to suppress and not say the truth of what really happened, but it does mean that you must be aware that if you're overexpressing, I spoke about this in another video, or if you are not being loving about the person, not being understanding if you're speaking about someone else, that could harms you in the end of the day. Now, one thing I will say is we are all human, and this being impeccable with your word is the hardest thing to do. Once you master this, and literally, as he says in the book, you'll be living in heaven on earth, and you'll have, very few issues to deal with. So try being impeccable with your word by using it in the name of truth and love, and try your best to set intentions clearly, especially before you meet with family members and close friends who often can bring out unconscious patterns and unconscious speech in us. Book number 2, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl shares his experience as a Holocaust survivor and explores the quest for meaning and purpose in life. He draws on existential psychology, his own journey through suffering, and Frankl offers insights into the human capacity to find hope, resilience, and meaning even in adversity. This is an absolute cracker. If you are a visionary, that means you're someone who has a future-focused vision. You're someone who's creative, inspirational, resilient, empathic. This book is for you. Why? Well, he who has a clear enough why can bear almost any how. One of my favorite quotes in the book by Nietzsche is a quote from Nietzsche, but it's in Viktor Frankl's book. And Viktor essentially is one of the forefathers of coaching, where he talks about meaning and purpose, logotherapy, a type of therapy that helps people find the gift in their suffering. Now, I know that can be triggering because maybe you've gone through trauma, maybe you've gone through hardship, a breakup, maybe you've had a toxic work situation. I hear you, I understand that. And I too have been through a lot of difficult things. What I have come to realize in this situation is that the more we can understand that we live in a benevolent universe, which means we surrender to the situation and we know that the world is happening not to us, but for us and through us, then we can start to find the gifts. And often the gifts might only come 5, 10, 15 years later, and that's okay. But as long as you're aware of that key principle from this book to find the gift through any situation by, I already kind of alluded to this in another video, you create the meaning, you write the story, you write the narrative of your own life. And that is a very, very powerful tool, thanks to Viktor Frankl. Book number 3, an absolute classic, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. This spiritual teacher, he explores the transformative power of living in the present moment. He offers practical techniques for cultivating mindfulness, inner peace and spiritual awakening. And by embracing the power of now, you can break free from negative thought patterns and experience profound personal growth. Well, many of you will have read this book. And the truth is, the present moment is, of course, one of the most powerful places to create from. It is the most powerful place to create from. Worlds are created out of the present moment. And how do you actually implement a single strategy from the book? Well, there's many, many strategies in there. But for me, I would say one of the most powerful ways to engage in the present moment is just a simple 3 conscious breaths. So you can, if you're a meditator, you might meditate morning and evening. But what could be more powerful is actually in the day, you can do that as well. Just pausing, especially in the transitions after a Zoom call, in between meetings, when you're in your car, when you are just before you eat or get in the shower, you pause and take 3 conscious breaths. Why? It engages you in the present moment. It lets you back into your spiritual essence, that you are not the mind, you are not the body, you are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions, you are the awareness of these things. And when you're there, all of a sudden, all of the problems, all the stories, all the pain, the suffering, the setback seems to melt away. So by stopping multiple points in the day and doing the 3 conscious breaths, becoming aware of where you are in the moment and who you really are, that's an incredibly powerful way to use your emotions as a fuel for growth. Number 4, mindset. The New Psychology of Success by Carol Dweck. Carol Dweck explores the power of mindset in shaping our attitudes, behaviors, and outcomes. She explains the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And of course, many of you be aware of Dweck's work. By adopting a growth mindset, you can cultivate resilience, embrace challenges, and unleash your full potential. Now, she isn't joking, as having a growth mindset is literally one of the key things you can do to create success and fulfillment and growth in your life. And it's no surprise that her methods have been so powerful, and everyone from teams to children to everyone really, whether you're a leader or a visionary, whatever it is. So how can you start to apply the principles from this book without even reading the book? Well, very, very simple. One of my favorite ones actually is called Being Inspired by Other People's Success. So next time you go onto social media, you see somebody and you get that pang of envy, then you know that they are doing something that you want to do. And that is an amazing, amazing thing. You can now celebrate, appreciate, and be inspired by that person. So instead of feeling this dissonance and watching them do something you want to do and being like, oh, I hate them, they're annoying, I don't like them, you do the opposite. You celebrate them. You say, wow, you're amazing. And you become inspired and curious. How did they do what they're doing? And you appreciate them. I love how they do their videos. I love that they're sharing their truth and embodying their authenticity. By doing this, you will embody a growth mindset. By virtue, if you're seeing people in your reality that are doing things that are successful and you are celebrating them, by virtue, you're already happier. You're already on the path to more success and fulfillment. So this is a very simple thing you can implement today. I call it social media mudita, which is sympathetic joy, being happy for other people's success. But celebrating, appreciating, and being inspired by other people's success, key thing. Book number 5, Emotional Intelligence, Why It Can Matter More Than IQ. Daniel Goleman explores this powerful concept of EQ, emotional intelligence, and its critical role in success, relationships, and well-being. He's going to offer insights in the book into how you can cultivate more emotional awareness, empathy, and resilience by enabling you to harness your emotions for personal and professional growth. This book was a pivotal book in my own methods. And of course, if you've watched any of my other videos about, the truth that is missed and that keeps you stuck about your emotions and the 3-part system, our 3A system, the one thing you can take here is just gaining more emotional awareness, stopping at multiple points in the day and asking yourself, what do I feel? Is it fear, anger? Is it sadness, happiness, contempt, surprise, disgust, shame, blame, fear, anger, envy, pride, jealousy? Any of these emotions, just naming them alone is a very, very powerful tool. And that's going to set you on your way to becoming emotionally healthy, but also growing significantly in your career and everything that you're setting out to do on your path of growth. So checking in with your emotions multiple points in the day. I make it a habit by doing it after something you already do, like after you brush your teeth or after you get out of the shower, and then also potentially setting an alarm on your phone to do that at multiple points in the day. That's what I do with my clients, like I mentioned, when they start. They have an alarm on their phone at frequent points in the day to check in where they're going. I hope you've enjoyed these 5 transformational books, spiritual and scientific books. They're going to help you use your emotions as fuel for growth. And I hope you enjoyed the 5 practical insights you can implement that I've implemented in my own life and my journey. And I also share with my clients so that they can activate their potential. Please let me know in the comments if this resonated. I can't wait to see you soon.